Superintendent, we're going to number 3, and we'll just turn it over to you. Thank you, Dr. Dixon.
Thank you, Chair Belknap. Board members, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning. We're going to start with student artworks. I think Kathy Jensen is online and ready to go.
Good morning, everyone. I'm looking for some opportunity to share my screen. Jerry, if you could help me. There we go. Superintendent, will you let me know if you can see this?
We can see it. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you so much. It is my pleasure to be with you. These pictures come from Majestic Elementary in the Jordan School District. They are the first school of their kind in the district as an arts-focused magnet school. 6th grade students sat in this refurbished bus with drums and learned about the phases of the moon, all while drumming. Once they exited the bus, they traded their drum beats for brush strokes. 6th grader Valerie Rojas said she loves art and finds that she can express her feelings as she draws and paints. She said she wanted the bus to convey the feeling of happiness to other students. So this brightly colored bus by students and teachers will be going next year from school to school with drumming inside and brightly colored images on the outside. Jerry Crosby, the endowed chair at Utah Tech, partnered with Natalie Gula, the St. George Art Museum coordinator, to paint pianos for the community. Jerry gathered her BTS art, dance, and music educators for the year-end professional development workshop, and together they painted. They painted these beautiful, colorful pianos, which will be placed around the community so all can enjoy. See if you can find one the next time you're in St. George. Cassie Walker, the BTS visual arts educator at Lone Peak Elementary in the Canyon School District, always wanted to learn to do fused glass. With the help of Allison Klinger, fused glass artist, every student participated in this large fused glass project, with the outcome being a beautiful mural of the community, which now hangs in the entry of the school. Look at the detail. The swings, the bus, the animals, the mountains, the flag, the rainbow. Each of these teachers and students is making their mark. This book, The Dot by Peter Reynolds, is about Kashi, a young girl who is a very reluctant artist. She doesn't have self-confidence, but with some encouragement from her teacher, she makes a dot on a paper. And the teacher is so proud of her that the teacher hangs it behind her desk. With that encouragement, Kashi excelled at dots and went on to become quite the artist. So now we have National Dot Day on September 15th. As was suggested by Superintendent Dixon, now is your chance to make your mark and show your talent. We will be displaying adult art for the August board meeting. We encourage all of you, all of the staff and board members to submit your art for display so all can enjoy in the September board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And I think that includes things like quilts. Correct?
Absolutely. Multimedia, whatever you can do. Take a picture of yourself dancing. The QR code, we'll post it. It'll be great.
Thank you. That will be great fun. We are not introducing new employees this month, but we have a wonderful Employee of the Month to share with you. So, Kathy, I think you will need to stop sharing so I can share my screen. Jerry, I don't know if you can assist in that. Okay, Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, Jerry, I need you to give that back to me. All right. Thank you, Jerry. Still not working, is it?
We can see it, Dr. Dixon.
Oh, excellent. Okay, now I've got it. Thank you. So I am really excited to introduce you to Devin Parcell. If you haven't met Devin, you are missing out. He is a pillar of the child nutrition program, and he was specifically nominated for his dedication and exemplary work in helping update the child nutrition, and I'll just say CMP for brevity, but they have a web application, and it's vital to their work. So he put in the application of the ASP Net platform, and he worked on this for months, testing the new application and identifying issues so that the developer could fix them before they went live, which is awesome. He put in such an extraordinary amount of work into this, and that's in addition to all the other work that he has to do. I've been able to observe Devin as a leader in committee meetings and just part of our overall work of the agency. And he always is a problem solver, just willing to lean in. And one of the things that he is known for is just always being so professional and positive. I don't think I've ever seen Devin, in spite of the stress that he goes through, without a smile on his face. And he just brings this light and great energy to the office. And those that he works with out in the field really speak highly of him because of the positive interactions that he has with them. So thank you, Devin, for all your hard work on behalf of our kiddos. And we're very proud to honor you. So Devin, he knows the drill. He gets his own parking place and all the goodies that go with that, and 8 hours of admin leave. So Devin, if you want to wave to the crowd, and congratulations, Devin. He's an excellent employee.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right, and then I have just a few remarks I can get to. My next screen share. Thank you for your patience as I pretend to be Jerry Record, which is super hard. All right. I think you're seeing the wrong screen. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Oh goodness, sorry everyone. Let's try this again. All right, is that working?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. All right. I am really excited to share some good news. And some of you who have been on the board for a while, you might remember when we had a push for our educational preparation programs to improve mathematics for elementary teachers. And we reached out to the programs and really worked with them and looked at data that had been collected regarding their programs. Part of it came from our praxis scores a few years back when I was in teaching and learning. We were not doing so well in mathematics for our elementary teachers. And so our preparation programs have really stepped up to the plate, and they have engaged in more robust efforts of infusing mathematics into their elementary education programs so that when our teachers come out, they're better prepared to serve our students with mathematics. So the National Council on Teacher Quality recently released its teacher prep review for standards in teaching of elementary mathematics, and this hard work is reflected there. I think I sent you the report. If not, it's in the backup materials. but it's reviewed and analyzed, and then NCTQ grades the quality of these programs. And they looked at over 1,100 preparation programs across the country. So taken as a whole, what they found is that Utah's elementary mathematics preparation programs, they ranked well above the national average in terms of all the criteria that they used. Out of the 10 teacher prep programs that were examined in Utah, 6 received an A grade or higher, with 5 receiving the highest grade of an A+. And there's a lot of criteria that they look at, but one of those is the amount of hours that are spent in both content and pedagogy. So in content, we ranked 3rd out of 50 states and 15th out of 50 for the pedagogical piece. And again, that's the amount of hours that students spend in preparation, both in content and pedagogy. Now, there's always room for improvement. And soon, as you know, we'll be releasing the elementary competencies, which will more clearly outline what is expected of our educator preparation programs. Dr. Thronson and her team have really been working on this. And this is to help them more effectively teach mathematics as well as other subjects. So this should help all the programs that are not quite to the A level move forward in their work. And USBE will continue to work with our educator preparation program so that each of them can then get to a place where we are all confident that they're providing the highest quality instruction and preparation for Utah's future education. And I want to emphasize that it really takes all of us working together. It's not just the preparation, but it's how they're supported in the field as they start their career and their journey and throughout their career. Next, I want to highlight our Child Nutrition Program partnership with Catalyst Center. This was such a fun project. Kathleen Magg and Kelsey Eller from CMP led this project, and they have been trying to think about how can we take the federal requirements on nutritious meals and really infuse those into ProStart and our culinary arts programs in our schools, and thinking about maybe the Catalyst could lead some of this work. So they worked with students and the teacher there and found that maybe that was something that they couldn't take on, but the students there could really get invested and receive coaching and support from our staff and really try nutritious meals. And they had these open houses with taste tests. Dr. Norman represented us and had a great time. She was sending pictures of all the awesome food that she was eating. But the goal is that these students could create meals that really are to the higher standards of nutrition and then sell those in their bistro. And if you haven't been to Catalyst, I hope you'll take the time to do so. The culinary arts program is awesome and the kids are so excited. And they really are very focused on culinary arts as a career. In fact, with this group here at Catalyst, I think there are 3 that already have jobs lined up with the Davis School Foods program when they graduate. But guidance has been given all along the way, as I mentioned, by our staff as they were going through this process. And I just want to highlight some of the Portrait of Graduate competencies. And we could give you very specific things that they learned with each of these competencies. So think about financial and economic literacy with the budget and planning and thinking about the price points to sell their products. They had to use critical thinking and problem solving about ingredients and time and preparation and longevity of being able to sell things in their bistro. They did great teamwork. They worked in small groups of 4 to 7 and collaborated around the recipes and the execution. And then just the skills that they're learning that will apply to life and their own personal growth. They've loved the project. Dr. Norman could probably say a few words about her experience there as well with them. So I don't know, Dr. Norman, if you want to weigh in at all, but it was a great project and such a fun way to see how our CMP staff, it's not just about regulation, but they do so much more. And I just have been just so full of joy every time I see their staff come back from working with kids and working on one of these projects, because it really is a great partnership with our families, our students, our LEAs, and the work that our staff does in CMP. Dr. Norman, do you want to say anything about your experience?
Yes, I just wanted to follow up by saying the professionalism shown by these students really exemplified the standards being learned and what that looks like in real life. They were committed, they were engaged, they were forward thinking. And when we talk about those Portrait of a Graduate competencies that are listed on this slide, I think every student in there could actually speak to how they demonstrated that personally. And I think that ability for those students to take ownership of that learning and know exactly where they were at on that learning continuum was something that I just was very heartening to be able to feel.
Thank you, Dr. Norman. I know you were bragging about being the taste tester and enjoyed a lot of great dishes as well as having fun with the kids. Thank you. And the last thing I want to highlight is junior achievement. I don't know how many of you have had an opportunity to teach a junior achievement course, but I had that opportunity a couple of weeks ago. And often the junior achievement program in many schools, they take the modules and break them up. So you might go in once a week or once every 2 weeks. Well, in Salt Lake District, in many of the schools, they have junior achievement in one day. So you take all of the coursework and teach it throughout the day. So I was an actual 5th grade teacher for a full day. And I have to admit that I took a 2-hour nap. The next day, I'd forgotten what it was like. For those of you that are in the classroom every day, it's hard. I mean, it's hard work. We all know that. But when you're actually on your feet and interacting with students and going through lessons, and I had it easy. These junior achievement lessons are awesome. They are mapped out for you. You get all the materials that you need. You get this great manual. And in my particular day, the focus for these 5th graders was on entrepreneurship, capitalism, free market, talking about goods and services and the consumer and the producer. And the kids were so engaged and they were so much fun. I loved every minute of it. And a shout out to Miss Lopez. She is a second year teacher and she was such a veteran. The processes and procedures in this school just overall were outstanding. And it was just such a great, wonderful, warm feeling when you were in the school. A lot of parents engaged in the school, and these sweet kids were very tolerant of somebody who was out of practice. But we had a great time, and I just want to thank Junior Achievement for their partnership in our schools and the skills that they're teaching that are really life skills and helping kids think about their future and careers and the possibilities. So thank you for that opportunity, Junior Achievement and Salt Lake School District. I want to turn the rest of the time over to Kuhn Nguyen, who will talk about our Do the Right Thing contest. I know that several board members were there, so be ready in the queue for those board members who may want to comment, but I'll turn this over to our amazing Kuhn Nguyen. And if you don't know Kuhn, I hope you'll get to know him. He is such a value add and a great leader in our staff. So Kuhn, we'll turn it over to you, and I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, Superintendent Dixon, for your leadership and support. Thank you for including the 2002 Do the Right Thing on your agenda. And board member, thank you for your time. I will share your PowerPoint, my PowerPoint just in a minute. And before I do that, I just want to recognize that presently our 2 national Do the Right Thing students, their parents and teacher, Ms. Kimmer Vai from South Ogden Junior High, are with us in there. And so if you can just wave to the group, that'd be fantastic. So with that, if I may share my screen. So I think this is on.
I think Kelsey is going to share for you, Kuhn. She's got the slides up and ready.
Okay, awesome. So the Do the Right Thing, I just wondering if you ever wonder how sorry, I just get caught in here. In terms of, have you ever wondered what would it take to make world peace? Perhaps the Do the Right Thing is an option for that. The purpose is to involve both youth in the Kuwait and the state of in the U.S. and youth in the U.S. to apply a step way to keep peace throughout the world. The first step is to end youth violence is to talk about it. The Do the Right Thing challenge is the first initial step make for this to be possible. Giving them a voice about youth violence, how youth violence affect their life and how it can be prevented. The program empower young people in Utah and around the country to make a personal written commitment to combat youth violence in their communities. The program works because it targets youth violence in the community where they live, then recognize this, that the solution are within this community. And it says, nationally sponsored by the Kuwait Foundation and managed by the Campaign to Stop Youth Violence. In Utah, locally, is sponsored by the Utah State Board of Education. In the 2022 challenge, over 1,300 students participate in the classroom discussion, 580 picked to write that essay, and then 400 of them were being evaluated by college students. The program itself is that for youth to answer three main questions. How has youth violence affected their life? What are the causes of youth violence, and what can each of the students and their community do to reduce and even stop violence? So that's the challenge for them. We target encourage 7th and 8th graders to participate in the program. In terms of the 2022, this is after the pandemic, and since 2020 is when we got together in person and to recognize. So there were 34 teachers and from 17 schools participated in this program. 51 of students attended this event. 51 students were recognized. Collectively would have 130 parent, teacher, student, special guests were invited at this event. We awarded 12 honorable mention students. 35 of the students received $300 scholarship. 2 of them as a runner-up received $400 scholarship, and then 2 national finalists received $500 scholarship, put it in their My 529 account. And part of that, board member Hymas, board leader, and board Moss were present at the recognition event. So thank you, board member, for your time, taking the time to read and evaluate this essay, and then evaluate the student writing as part of this writing. Thank you. So our 2 national finalists achieved the highest score among their peer. The national final wrote about their experience with violence and proposed solutions to address them in this very important, relevant issue at the local level. I said about their scholarship, national final received the certificate from the governors, with the governor's signature and our Superintendent Dixon's signature on that award. Student, their family were invited to stay at One Night at the Snowbird on May 12 and 13, and will recognize in front of 400 attendees at the Utah Promises Conference. In addition, are 2 students, 1 parent, and then teacher Ms. Kim Irvine were invited to attend a national recognition event in later this July in Washington, D.C. Finalists will participate with other national finalists to talk about this issue. They will meet with our Utah congressional delegations to discuss the problem of youth violence, and will attend a reception hosted by the ambassador to the United States for the state of Kuwait. A book containing their writings will be placed at the Library of Congress in Utah. In terms of our own, we have a 51 writing essay, and that's part of the backup. And I encourage you to read those writings when you have some spare time, and to get an insight of what our students thinking and their proposed solutions, and then their experience with youth violence. With that, I like to read a quote to our national finalists. You just can't take it out on others. I always had that one person who helped me overcome this, and I want to be part of that person to others. Right? So Parker Johnson from South Ogden Junior High, and we just want to recognize and then receive the award. This is from April 22nd. Thank you, Parker. Left for death. Darkness engulfed the last drop of sunlight. The anonymous buzzer began lurking at the sounds of pain and agony, staring in and out at the sight of your broken limbs and empty stomach. Peter Thompson from South Ogden Junior High. And this is the award they received a bit earlier. So with that, thank you to our students. Thank you, parents and teachers, for your support. And thank you, board member, for this time. And Superintendent, the stage is yours. I return the stage to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kuhn, for your excellent leadership with this great program. Congratulations to the students, their teachers, and their parents. I mean, it's really exciting that we have national award winners. I just wanted to give just a brief minute. I think we're about 2 minutes out of our time, but if any of the 3 board members who attended Do the Right Thing want to make a quick comment. I think that was Board Member Moss, Board Member Hymas, and Board Member Lear.
This is Carol Lear, and I have done this now for 3 years, read these essays, and I've got to say, as a former always English teacher, it took me 3 years to stop looking at the grammar and read the emotion and the passion behind these entries. And it is amazing that these young people are so willing to reveal information about themselves and willing to look for solutions for really difficult problems. And these are absolutely people skills these young people have acquired somehow, some way. Their writing needs some work, but their emotion is so sincere and raw that it is just impressive. And I've learned much more than they learned in reading these essays.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone else who was there.
I'll just say, I think I was able to share last month, but I'll just reiterate, you know, these kids, I got to sit with a couple of them at their table and talk a little bit about solutions, and they're so thoughtful about ideas like clubs and sharing, you know, weeks where their schools are just sharing compliments and kindness and just kind of awareness of, you know, a lot of the violence that was discussed was self-harm, as we know, and that came through in a lot of the writings. And so, you know, they're just right in the weeds there, down in the trenches, and had great thoughts that I hope kind of bubble up at the district level or at our level about, you know, simple things like just organized ways of good vibes and recognition out there to help kids know that there's, you know, everybody else knows what they're going through. So it was very enlightening. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Board Member Moss. Board Member Hymas?
Yeah, if I could just echo what Member Lear and Member Moss said. It was just such a great experience to be part of that. I encourage anybody to take advantage of that. At the same time, very, very sad and hard to read some of the content, but very grateful that I had that experience to do so, and that those students were willing to open up their hearts to anybody. I mean, they didn't know I was going to read it per se, but it really does have an impact, and to see these students move beyond what they've experienced and is such a good example to all of us. So great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Hymas. Board Member Straight?
Yeah, I just had to add that as a current resident of South Ogden and someone who taught for 10 years at the junior high there, awesome. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Dixon.
Thank you, ma'am. That concludes my remarks in our presentation. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Dr. Dixon. We appreciate that. We appreciate those who presented and some of the passion that was discussed here today. We appreciate that.